It's not been a good year for sheep. um, I started out with goats and really had very little problems with goats. Uh, Mostly the only problem I had with goats was the former help that I had. He called himself a goat expert and he knew supposedly all these things about goats, but yet I had more goats die on his watch than I have on my own. And I'm not even an expert. He's had goats supposedly all of his life or most of his life. And I only had goats for about a decade. And I kind of learned from him, but I learned that a lot of stuff that I learned from him was bull crap. But anyway, since I got rid of that loser, worthless eater, because I mean, I paid him to do things around here and he didn't do crap. And he killed most of my livestock. Just let them die. Didn't take care of them like he said he would, like he was supposed to. But anyway, so I got rid of him and I went on my own. And I've lost one goat. Yeah, one goat. That's it. In the last 22, 23, 24, 25. In the last 4 years, I lost one goat. And in the last 10 years prior, I lost most of my herd. So, yeah, statistics say he sucks. But anyways, this year has been a bad year for sheep. So I got sheep from another friend who's basically just a better version of the last guy. About as almost as worthless, but you know, at least he earns his own keep and pays his own bills. He's not as much of a moocher. He's not as much of a worthless eater. Just kind of somewhere in between. I think they're both narcissists. This one's just more of a functional narcissist. But anyways, I bought his sheep. Originally, I was supposed to just I was gonna overwinter them for him for free, out of kindness. Because I was like, oh, I got all this grass. I got all this stuff for them to eat. They can stay here for the winter. I mean, it's not like he was doing me a favor. I didn't care either way. Uh, I mean, in a way, he was doing me a favor because they eat things that the goats don't eat. But for me, I thought it was a win-win because he was like talking about selling them. I was like, well, just keep them here for the winter. And then he still wanted to sell them. So I was like, well, I'll buy them. And I bought them. Come to find out they were inbred. Kind of like David Ray's goats were all inbred. John's sheep were all inbred. Anyway, so he was supposed to keep and butcher the rams, but he didn't. And they ended up knocking up all the females that I have here. One of them ended up being retarded, or the baby ended up being born retarded. So it died. We was gonna let it try to live, but it didn't make it. Then coyotes picked off all the other lambs except for one, Pete. But we ended up selling his rams for him and transporting them for him. Then he turns around and says we never did nothing for him. But anyway, and I went out and bought a different ram, a Dorper Katahdin. No, this was a Dorper ram. And I was going to breed him with these Katahdins to have Dorper Katahdin crosses. But he ended up dying. I'm not sure why he died, but we think it's because they kept getting out and getting onto the neighbor's property, and he has cattle. And um, and I think they got into the cattle feed, and that's what killed him. Not long after that, I did have one goat die, and I think she died from overeating as well. Um, she almost died on me one time because she ate too much corn and ended up getting polio. So she's real sensitive to overeating. So she ended up dying eventually, but it was just overeating. And that's what I think Appa died from too. So I decided I wasn't probably going to do sheep anymore. I was going to just stick with goats. But then I changed my mind. I went and got another Dorper Katahdin mix already. And, but then one of the ewes that I got from John turned out she had Crohn's disease. They call it Jonas disease. And she ended up dying. So I ended up cremating her. She died over by the fence. My brother put her out of her misery. She was dying. My brother came over and put her out of her misery while I was on the road. And so I just got done cremating her. I never did get around to cremating Appa because I've been so busy. So now I'm, cremating his bones because I put all this wood and pallets and stuff here to cremate him. I just never got around to it. I cremated Cutie Pie. She was the goat. And then I found Appa, so I drug him up here and buried him under the wood. The bugs pretty much ate him, but yeah, now I'm finally cremating him. So I got to keep an eye on this fire. But real quick, it looks like it's under control. It's in a pit, but this is where I cremated Cinnamon. What was left of her anyways. My brother put her out of her misery 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago. Last weekend I was too busy. I couldn't do anything with it, so I finally had time to do it today. So as soon as I get done doing this, I got my goat panels yesterday. So I'm gonna go put goat panels around my pear trees, and probably bring 2 of them back here as well and put them around my passion fruit. I'm not gonna let the goats or the pigs or the sheep come back here till it starts getting cold again. I'm just gonna have this this backyard rest for a little while. Make sure that Crohn's disease or Jonas disease is gone before letting them back here, because especially the pigs, but if they can get it by nursing, or if they ended up getting the feces in their mouth for whatever reason, and the pigs is more likely that to happen. But if they were, if they were to ingest any byproduct of the animal that has the disease through milk or through feces or something else, then they can contract it as well. So the 2 best things to do is bury them deep or cremate them. So I don't think that's what Appa had. Appa was a baby. I'm pretty sure he died from overeating, just like Cutie Pie did, or eating the wrong stuff. But yeah, Cinnamon, it was pretty much that's what she had. So, and she had, her baby was born first, and it was the first one to get eaten by the coyotes. So maybe the coyotes got the Jonas disease. I'm gonna have to Google all that and see if coyotes can get it. But that'd be interesting. But yeah, poor Cinnamon and Appa. Cinnamon was a good sheep, good ewe. She was one of my favorites. Cinnamon and Ginger. But in Cutie Pie, was one of my favorite goats. But this here is Appa that we're burning. Appa is Romanian for water. We named him Water for Water Ram because John's, I don't know what you call her. He says she was a business partner. Other people say they were in a relationship. But anyways, I don't know. Anyways, she kept bugging him about building a water ram in his dry creek, and it was very annoying to him, he said. And so he was teasing him all the time. We could build a water ram. We could build a water ram. So when I bought Appa, I named him Water for Water Ram. But I wanted to name him also after, I wanted to name him Water in the native tongue of the person we bought him from. And she was Romanian. So we named him Appa. But he passed away. So the second ram I got, I named him Dodge for obvious reasons. But anyways, I like Dodges. Becoming a Chevy guy, but I follow this guy on YouTube and Facebook called, I think it's the Car Wizard. Um, and basically, he gives a list of cars to buy and not to buy. And so, whatever cars he suggests to buy, then that's basically what I'm buying. Whether it's a Ford, Chevy, Dodge, a foreign car, whatever, I don't care. If he says it's a good car, then I trust his judgment. He's seems like a really good guy. I don't know him personally, but I plan to go out there and meet him in person. But anyways, Dodge. Dodge is my new Ram. And like I said, I almost didn't do sheep again, but I decided to go ahead and do it. So what I'm going to do is probably have 25 to 50 sheep here and 25 to 50 goats. With 15 acres, I can support a little over 100 sheep and goats. So if I do 25 each, plus their offspring, um, while they're uh, being raised, then that'll constitute 100 adults. Because each goat and sheep will have approximately 2 offspring. So if I have 25 of each, that's 50. That's potentially 150 sheep and goats. Now, after about 2 months, I'll be taking all the babies to the market. I'll be castrating some to eat, and then the rest I'll be taking to the market. I was going to butcher them or have them butchered by a professional because I don't want to do it, and then sell the meat. But due to New World Order rules, regulations, standard codes, and guidelines, and the increase in the size, the cost, extent, the reach, and the power of government, or tyrannical government, we're not allowed to do that anymore. So, because I was going to get an ice cream truck, relabel it for meat, and go around and sell meat out of the ice cream truck. But thanks to our stupid tyrannical government, I can't do that. So now I'm just going to sell them individually. So if you want a meat goat, a milk goat, or a meat sheep, give me a holler. If I don't sell them off the land, because that's technically all we're allowed to do now because of the dumb government, is we're only allowed to sell them on the hoof, if you will. So I'm going to sell them on the hoof here. If they don't sell by the time they're 2 months old, at least the females, I'm going to take them to the market. And the males, I might take half to the market, and then I might castrate the other half, and then take them to the market later as meat goats. So, or meat sheep, whichever. So what I'll probably do is the best looking ones I won't castrate, and I'll take them to the market and sell them as breeder stock. And then if somebody still wants to castrate them, they can. Um, and then the ones that I castrate, once they're almost a year old, then I'll take them to the market. So, anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm doing today. Cremating sheep. I mean, like I said, he's already cremated. He's already pretty much just bones, and she almost was pretty much just bones. But her remains, I was mostly concerned about getting rid of because I don't want to pass on the disease. He died from eating the wrong shit or too much of it. So I'm not worried about him passing on any diseases. So, anyways. So, fun times. That's what I'm doing today. This is my burn pit. So, yeah. So, I'll let this yard rest until fall. When they need shelter, when it starts getting cold, like October, November. And then I'll start rotating them again. Next month, we're going to put the pig. She's going to give birth next month, presumably. So we're going to put her in there next month. And hopefully she stays in there. And then she gives birth in there. And then we will have baby pigs. And then we're going to castrate the males, keep 2 or 3 males, and we're going to sell the rest. And then, yeah. I never really wanted pigs. I do like coon-coons, but Laura kind of wanted to breed them. So I made a deal with her. I'll trade her 2 castrated males after these babies are born to keep here on the land, and then she could take Kevin and Sally and 1 other castrated male to Collins. But now what we'll probably do is we'll take Sally and the castrated male to Collins. No, leave Sally and the castrated male here. Take Kevin and a castrated male to Collins because she likes Kevin better. He's more friendly. I bought Kevin and her mother bought Sally, but Kevin's more friendly. So we'll leave Sally here with the castrated male, and they can help keep the weeds down here. And then Kevin and a castrated male can be at Collins where they can be more social with us. We'll probably keep the more social castrated male over there as well. But anyways. And then after Sally's done having her babies, then we'll probably lock all of the animals out of both yards until winter, and then we'll start rotating again. So, but yeah, I'd rather have to give them medicine for worms than have them get this disease that Cinnamon had. That's not good. Anyways, all right. Till next time.